Hey YouTube, we are 5 weeks and 5 days out from Mr. Olympia. Crazy. It is Sunday. We're doing a push workout today, which is chest, 2 for chest. Then we have 2 exercises for 2 or 3 for triceps. I think 2, yeah, and 2 for shoulders. Well, 4 sets of chest, 6 sets of triceps, I believe, and 5 sets of delts, if I'm not wrong. Anyway, we're getting close. We're getting close. In about how many weeks? 4 weeks and a few days time. Me and my man Vince, we will be flying to Vegas. How fucking exciting! I can't wait. Today I weighed at 103.8, which is a new low for me. After a week of just being low on the diet, I had a refeed last weekend, so it's been about 7 days, and I'm expecting my weight to drop a little bit more this week. Then we put some food back in, because we pulled food down a little bit, 200 calories down from today actually. So I'm on around 3,600 calories, I believe, which is still plenty food for a lot of guys. But every time I say I'm on a deficit, I'm like 3,800 or 4,000 calories. People are like, how's that a deficit? We can't even eat that much food. Well, you don't fucking realize. First, I was 110 kilos, 11 kilos lean. Okay, like really fucking lean. And I trained fucking hard. So you need to, consider those factors. I'm not someone who weighs 80 kilos and his body fat is 20%. That's very different. So if I'm on 4,000 calories, you might need to be on like 2,000 calories. You know what I mean? Anyway, we're gonna get into our session, smash this chest session, and maybe we do some more talking at the end. Let's get it. Fine. Who says you can't get stronger in prep? 1 rep up. Our first exercise done, which was a seated plate loaded press. If you don't have that machine, you can literally do flat press, plate loaded, or you can use the Smith machine. And I would do it on low incline with Smith. Second exercise, we are going to do some incline cable press. This is one of my favorite exercises. The good thing about this is you can literally adjust the bench and everything based on your structure. You can always play around with the attachments and everything. So whatever feels good for you, you do that. I like keeping the bench at about 30 to 45 degrees. And it feels really good. I don't feel any front delts when I do this. With this one, when you're doing this, you basically want to be pressing up in a vertical line. So you don't want to be pressing like this. You don't want to move your bench forward too much and press like this. You want your elbow and everything to be in a vertical line. So when you're pressing, you press like this. That's when you get your upper chest engaged. But if you're pressing like this, you feel it more on the lower you go, right? So you bring it up, vertical, and press up. You don't want to just pull it up like that. It's literally impossible when you're pressing heavy. Second, you might just literally tear your pecs if you do that. You lean towards one side, right? Like that. You bring it up, you turn, you bring the other side up, you keep your shoulders back, feet to the ground, and then you press. good. 5 kilos up. This is one of my favorite triceps exercises for sure. The reason is it's super fucking stable. I can load my triceps with more weight. It's elbow friendly. My muscle connection is next level. You know, it just feels fucking unreal. And when you find a movement that feels fucking unreal, you stick to it and you get better at it. Okay? So you can use a wrist strap or literally just grab the cable. I like holding a handle like that because that gives me more stability. Then you bring it down just like that. Make sure it lines up nicely with your arm. Lean towards the working side. And from there, you get a full stretch. And you just extend, contract, and back up. Nothing feels like a chest pump. Shoulder pump is good too. Chest, shoulder, and arms. That's all you need to pump up. Okay, now we're gonna move on to our second triceps exercise. I started feeling this a little bit on my elbow or any overhead movement, but then I realized if I do it as my second movement, I wouldn't feel it as much. It just feels good. So I moved this to my second triceps movement, and literally I do it pain-free, no pain. So give it a go if you feel your elbows when you do overhead extensions or skull crushes or the one I'm doing, it helps. You need a bench for this one. Always start with your weak side. Mine is my left. I'm gonna start with my left. You can use a wrist strap or literally just grab the cable. I prefer the straps because it takes the pressure off my elbows and it isolates my triceps more. You basically put your upper arm, your triceps on the pad, and as you are extending, you want to push your elbow into the pad. Even when you're coming up, you keep pushing your elbow into the pad. So you get a really good stretch on your triceps. This up, elbow there. Then you kneel down. More on the side, like sideways. And then extend. I'm not sure if you guys have noticed it. Well, I do pretty much all my arm exercises with my elbow supported. And I believe that's one thing that has helped me bring my arms up because there's literally no momentum and all you feel is your triceps or your biceps, and over time you actually get stronger at it. But then if you're just using dumbbells and doing shit like that, you focus too much on making progress, but then your form starts to sacrifice. So it's not like you're progressing, you're just making it easier to lift, to get an extra rep or do more weight. But when your elbow is supported, you can't do that shit. So if you're making progress, that's actually like real progress. And I believe that's played a big role for my arm growth for sure. Oh, that was a hard set though. There's no way I can do 13 next week, you know, and it's okay. You don't have to progress every week. You know, if I was to progress with this exercise every week, in like 2 years' time, I should be able to do the full set.
Yeah.
But that's never gonna happen. You know, it's okay to not progress every week.
Do you reckon it's better to progress on compound movements rather than isolation, or?
It really depends what your goal is. Like I don't do any compound movement for my shoulders. So isolation. Is it better to progress? If you can, yes. Because when you do something compound, you're getting more out of a few muscles. But when you do isolation, if you just want to grow your chest, obviously, it's better if you're doing something more isolated. Or if you want to grow your shoulders, like you can never grow your shoulders by doing shoulder press as much as you can by doing something like this, where it's more isolated, plus you're hitting your mid delts more, which is the recipe of having that, you know, V taper. I used to do a lot of shoulder press twice a week, and my shoulders were fucking tiny. My front delts was huge, but then I was just looked so narrow. But I stopped it, and I've just been doing lateral raises with cables, and my shoulders are definitely not a weakness anymore. You can tell. You guys tell me if my shoulders are weak. If anything, my shoulders are not weak anymore. I still need, my arms are good, but you can always, you know,
Turn to the side.
have a little bit more arms, but from the side it look good.
Yeah.
More back, more lats, and a little bit more arms. We'll see this Olympia. Like if you're doing, let's say you got hack squats and you got leg extension, right? And you want to grow your quads. Which one is going to help you more with your quad growth? Is definitely going to be hack squat, not leg extension. You can grow your quads without doing leg extension, but it's when you are fully loading your quads on stretch at the bottom. That's when the growth happens, when your muscle has been fully stretched under load. So it really depends on the exercise. But if I had to pick one, I would definitely pick compound movements over isolation work. I can grow my chest by just doing a press, my legs by doing squats, and my back by doing rows or pull downs.
It'll probably depend on the size of the muscle too. If
Yeah,
you're doing chest, you can do some press movements, but
Yeah, I mean, you can grow your chest by pressing, but you can't grow them by doing like chest flies.
yeah,
I don't think you can make, you can make that much gains on by just doing flies. But delts, definitely more isolation.
yeah,
Arms, more isolation.
yeah.
Smaller muscle groups like hamstrings, I would get more by doing hamstring curls than doing RDLs.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on training partners?
Annoying.
Annoying, yeah?
No, it's good if it keeps you more motivated or consistent with your training. It's good. If it keeps you accountable, it's good having a training partner for sure. But I like to train on my own because I feel like this is the only time I spend for myself, just being at the gym, being in my zone. I really enjoy that. But if it helps you, like you train with your brother, right? I mean, if you guys push each other, then why not? And you stay more accountable that way as well. Like your brother's gonna be there in the morning, unless he's eating 18 bananas and he falls asleep after eating the banana like this morning he did. But yeah, I think it's good, but I personally just like to be training on my own and just be my own zone. Like I feel like I'm more focused when I train on my own. But there's nothing wrong with having a training partner. If it works for you, it works for you. All right, we're gonna do some behind the back lateral raises. If you want to grow your muscles, specifically your delts, you need to be hitting them from different angles. Same with your arms. Like biceps, you want to hit it where your elbow is behind your torso to bias the lengthened portion, or when it's at the front. Or with triceps, you want to always do an overhead exercise where you are hitting the long head and you want to do like a sort of extension. Same thing with delts. So it's important to train it from different angles, which is why I am doing behind the back lateral raises. And I believe this is probably the best exercise, the best variation for behind the back lateral raises, because you're using the bench, it's super stable, and you're able to, go heavier. So what you gotta do, you just grab the cable, you sit, you lean towards the working side, keep the arm straight, and then when you come up, think of pushing your hand away from your body. So you're not shrugging. Yeah, remember, you are the fucking standard, okay? At home, if you're a dad, if you're a husband, as a coach, you're the fucking standard. You set standards. Meaning, you don't want to be a fucking loser. You stay consistent and you make sure you keep getting better and better. There is always more that you can do. Nothing is as enjoyable as making progress. Anyone can be a fucking loser. Don't be one. How was a good workout, When you're in prep and your workout is finished, you want to feel like you could have done more, even though you made progress. I could have done another 5 sets, right? You want to feel like that. So you are more fresh and you're not as fatigued. And the process, everything is more enjoyable. I always want to look forward to my sessions, But if you're doing too much, you get sick of it. You just train for the sake of training. Training should always be enjoyable. This is the fun part. I train because I love training. You don't see me, I don't ever go to the gym. I'm like, I don't want to be here. You don't see that shit because I truly love training. And yeah, with the prep, you really gotta be mindful with how much volume you're doing. If you do too much volume, you're burning too much fuel, you have no energy. And sometimes there's too much stress, too much pressure on your body, and it's just your body just shuts down. You need to be a little bit more relaxed. You always want to feel like you could have done more, and I believe you get the best results when you do that. You don't want to feel fucked up. You don't want to feel naked. You want to feel fresh, Make it enjoyable. All right. That's the workout. That's a wrap. Push workout. We are 5 weeks and 5 days out from Mr. Olympia. Conditioning is getting there. I reckon 2-3 more weeks and things are gonna look really fucking good. And Freaky the Death Face is making a comeback, as you can see. I just need to fucking shave. I need to get a haircut. I haven't had the time to. I seriously don't have the time. You know what I mean? It's an extra 2 hours. I need to go get a haircut and come back. And sometimes I just, I want to spend that time with my kid or look after him or with my wife. We have priorities. And yeah, I don't have time for that shit. Anyway, we're done. Thanks for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. Make sure you comment to our channels. Make sure you comment and let us know what you guys want to see more of in the future. Maybe next week we do a different workout that we haven't done. I don't know. We shall see. But in about 4 weeks' time, we are going to be in Vegas. And every single day, we're going to put a video on YouTube. So you guys going to see what exactly we do on fucking peak week. Olympia peak week. Fucking Olympia. The biggest bodybuilding stage on the fucking planet. Let's go.